You like action figures or comic books? Give him a look. Owner, my woman. Rambe YouTube, big things are happening in the Spawn universe. I just got through reading Spawn 261 or 361, and we're going to talk about it. Big things are happening. If you've been following along, you know that since number 350, the War for Hell has ended. And pretty much what is happening that Al Simmons was the first to get to the throne of hell in the war for the Hell's throne. But instead of taking it himself, he left it to Nyx and Greenworld. And we really haven't seen much of her or the throne of hell or anything going on these last 10 issues. The dead zones were open all over the earth, meaning that all spawns and angels had lost their powers, and the only powered beings were vampires who had taken over the earth, and all the Hellspawn angels were just humans. And so that was a big development. And I mean, to take 10 issues to resolve it is a big thing, but yes, I did give it a little bit of a spoiler there. Their powers have come back, and it's something we've been seeing in the Scorch and Gunslinger Spawn. They had gotten their powers back, and we didn't know how. And we realized that in this issue, it was all a consequence of Al Simmons. Though he was human, he was still, being bold, reckless, and in his last fight, he ended up dying. And Nyx found him and resurrected him because she needed him for her ultimate plan. But his death really forced her to jump ahead in her timeline. And so that is how, her resurrecting Spawn and closing up the dead zones is how all the different spawns and the angels got their powers back. And so we answer that question right here in the first few pages of this. And it seems that Nyx's plans have been bigger than Hell's Throne. Because if you remember back in 350, she didn't want the throne. But she did it as a favor to Al. But the throne corrupts. That kind of power corrupts. And as soon as she got installed, she had plans of taking over not only hell, but earth and heaven. And using Al Simmons as some part of that. And so that's what the first, good chunk of this is Nyx resurrecting Spawn and trying to convince him to play ball. Oh, and we also find out the reason why the vampires were only powered beings is because it was an arrangement that Nyx had made with them. So she was really pulling the strings all along. Like I said, it seems like the Throne of Hell really corrupted her very fast. And she sent an avatar to resurrect Spawn and to try to recruit him, but that did not go well at all for the Avatar. And of course, we know that Al Simmons, being an antagonist that he is, or protagonist that he is not simply going to stand back and let Nyx destroy Earth and Heaven. And then also very interesting scene, very interesting panel is during the time that she's communicating with Al Simmons through her avatar, she is directing her minions in hell to bring her something. And what it is the corpses of all of the soldiers who died in the war for hell. So they bring them to her, and they end up creating this thing, which seems to be some kind of ultimate weapon being made up of all the dead soldiers in the war of hell. So that is gonna be interesting. And one thing I will say the art does is it's very gruesome, very bloody, very visceral. It's hard to explain. It's beautiful, but it's also very unsettling. With the way that it's drawn, you almost feel like, yeah, kind of gives you a little bit of a queasy feeling. And so I like the art in here. The artist is Brett Booth. I'm not familiar with his work so much, but he did a great job on this. And the writer is Todd McFarlane, the originator of Spawn. So it's great that he is still involved and still steering the ship. But what it looks like is going to be going on now is Spawn versus Nyx versus Hell. And I don't know exactly what's going to happen. Is he going to try to save heaven and earth? Is he going to align with the angels? Is he? It's very exciting. I like the fact that they didn't rush these last 10 episodes. They let the dead zones and the loss of powers really develop in an organic way. And I think that it was the right time to bring it back. It's been almost a year of, all of these guys getting by without powers and exploring that story. But when you read a Spawn book of any type, you want to see that supernatural element and that butt kicking. So I'm glad that they're all powered again, and they have a brand new enemy who doesn't look like it's going to be easy to deal with. There's going to be more alliances, new protagonists. And antagonists. I am very excited what's going to be happening with the Spawn universe from here on out. They have lots of great titles: Spawn, King Spawn, Gunslinger Spawn, The Scorch. I've heard a rumor that this year, I think I saw a story, but I haven't seen anything of it recently, so don't hold me to it. But I do believe there is going to be a She-Spawn comic as well with Jessica Priest. And I'm a big fan of She-Spawn, so I am excited about that. Right now, she is in the Scorch, a character in the Scorch series, but I would love to see her get her own series. So that's it. That's my thoughts on Spawn 361. I'm excited going forward, and I will see you guys next time. Get this book right here. This is probably the most pivotal issue since 350. And you can find it at local comic book stores. Just came out last week. And if you don't have a local comic book store, check out my friend Jeff over at Coffee and a Comic. They're out of Huntington Beach, but they ship nationwide, and they have great deals on shipping. And it doesn't matter if you walk in or order online, you get free fresh ground coffee with every order. So go check them out. This is what I got this last week. So I'll see you guys later. Keep reading them books. I'm out.